All right, says I'm live. Good morning. It is Toni from the Fiberology Lab, and this is my new coffee chat with me, coffee chat with me. I have to find a creative way, a name. We were looking at different, Mr. Fiberology and I were looking at different names to call this new thing that we're trying out. He was trying coffee and quilts and quilting with coffee. I'm like, a lot of those are taken already. So that's why I came with coffee chat because I'm just here to chat about things that are going on in the business, things I want to teach you. And it's not as creative as I like it to be. So that's going to be a growing, evolving thing. So if you are here, please say hi and where you're from so I can acknowledge your time. I'm still working on, people are still having problems with comments. I get that. I'm still working on the video because I haven't figured out how to view a live and see where the comments come when I'm doing it through StreamYard, which is, I am on YouTube, but I'm using a platform to run through YouTube. So if you don't mind, say hi and where you're from. The other thing is that would help me is to uh, have more people watching because that allows more conversation to go on. If you could share this or invite your friends to subscribe to our channel as I start doing these in a daily process. And today I'm pretty excited because I want to teach you how to quilt. Now, I know if you've been following me for a while, you are probably already a quilter. Some of you are very well advanced quilters, but there are some who are just learning or who have been teaching themselves through the internet, and that's cool too. But I would love to love to share my version of my Learn to Quilt class. My Learn to Quilt class, when I used to teach it in the shop, was about 5 to 6 weeks long. It was I never took more than 5 people in a class, 4 to 5 people. Normally, I only kept 4. And then we worked every week learning all the basics. We learned how to pick fabric color wise. We learned how to cut accurately. I remember I mentioned that I don't teach perfection, but I do teach accurate processes. So cutting, pressing, and sewing are the 3 most important processes to do accurately. You're not going to ever do any of them perfect. You just can't. That's who we are. We can't be perfect. So if you do them in an accurate manner, when you get to the end of your quilt top and you get, or whatever project you're working on, you're going to have more success of points lining up and having points and being true to the size that it's supposed to be. So I'm pretty excited. So anyway, come on in, say hi. I'm having my coffee late today to just spend time with you. What is the weather like where you're at? Here in Northeast Florida, this morning was a little bit chilly. I'm actually wearing a short sleeve shirt. I don't know why, because I'm cold. I did have a shawl on earlier as I was walking around this office. Office, they turned off everything, the ACs and everything. And so when it came in, it was like 62 degrees. Not complaining, but I kind of like it at 70. So I turned on the heat. But yes, I turned on the heat. That's just who I am. So today, what I thought I would do to kind of introduce you to my Learn to Quilt series is I sat down before I came on live, was trying to figure out small bite sizes that I can present to you every morning in coffee chat for you to learn from or you to ask questions about. So the quilt I have behind me is my Learn to Quilt class. It's something it's super, this is an easy design. You're going to do some rail fences. We're going to do some friendship stars, and then we're going to do some 9 patches in different ways so that they look checkered. So this is what I teach when I do my Learn to Quilt classes. And like I said, I'm going to teach you how to accurately sew, how to accurately square up your cut. So sew, cut, press. If you can do those 3 things, and you don't have to do everything like I do, but this is what works for me, and I feel confident in my quilting skills. Hey there, Linda. Good morning to you. I hope you are staying warm. Linda's also in Northeast Florida, so I know she woke up to a chilly morning. So tomorrow, what my goal is, I'm going to have a PDF for you, and it's going to be our supply list. This is my supply list. I've already kind of redesigned it for this virtual platform and broken down into 17 mini sessions. Like I said, normally I do this over 5 weeks at 2.5 hours each session. So in that 2.5 hours, I'm not going to spend 2.5 hours talking to you. I'm going to give you bite-sized pieces every day for the next 17 sessions. Some of those set days I will be doing other stuff, but I'm going to go keep in showing you a little bit about quilting every day. And tomorrow, what I'm going to do is have a PDF for you to be able to download that will have all the supplies you need. I bet you most of you have these already because you're already quilting, or you're using tools that you have purchased or someone's given to you that work fine for your processes. And I don't want you to run out and spend tons of money. And I tell this to my new beginners too. Don't go out and spend tons of money because I have a really cool supply that you don't have. Use what you got. When you understand the difference of what a more quality tool is, once you understand that, then find that value to purchase. I don't want you purchasing if you are content with how your tools are working. And I'll talk about different tools tomorrow and supplies that I use. But I pulled some of them over here because I think these are just obvious ones. And I pulled them off my machine. I encourage every quilter to have. Now, I own a Janome. I also own two Berninas. I all have a 1/4 inch guide foot. So what this is there's a guide right here on this foot, and when I put it on my machine and put my fabric up against it, make sure your needle's in set for a 1/4 inch seam. If you most machines have that seam built in, or you can move your needle position. I'll talk about that in accurate 1/4 inch sewing when we get to that step. That is session number. I'm so proud of. Sometimes you gotta pat yourself on the back, and I put that down in session number 6. So we'll talk about that later. But anyway, this is an important tool, and this is a must as well for quilting. It amazes me how a lot of people self-teach and they do all their quilting and they have, they're successful, but they wonder why there's puckers and they wonder why there's tucks and stuff in their quilting. It's because you don't have a walking foot. And not every machine comes with them. This is something you do have to purchase. Most of them you have to purchase this foot too. If you don't, it doesn't come with your machine. But the walking foot looks like this. It's a boxy foot. Some machines have different looking feet. This is a generic style one. My walking foot for my bigger machine is totally different, but just keep that in mind. It could be called a walking foot or a dual feed foot. And what the whole purpose of this is essentially you have feed dogs on top of your fabric. See how they're grabbing and it's got little ridges on the plastic? On the bottom, you have your regular feed dogs pulling your fabric through. And what this does is make sure this top layer fabric is going at the same rate as the bottom layer. So your feed dogs from the bottom come up, the walking foot feed dogs come down, and they pinch the sandwich under that needle and bring it under the stitch together. So there's not a lot of puckering. So we'll talk more about that too. So I am excited to talk about learning how to quilt. And when we look at this, I'm going to be teaching 3 different blocks. I'm also going to teach you how to put your borders on and how to do your binding. I'll show you both machine and hand. This one is done by hand on this particular one. This is how old. This is one of my first samples I did for this class because I've adjusted it through the years. And then I said, let's go back to basics. I'm going to go back to this because I love the half square triangle piece, the stars in this one. And again, this is perfect size. It's 40-inch square for a baby quilt, a table topper, a wall hanging. It's just something for you to be successful quickly and learn some techniques through the process. So typically, like I said, I do this class over 5 weeks. And I normally charge $125 plus supplies. So I'm going to do it free for you guys over the next month or so. It's going to take a little while to get through it. Baby steps. And like I said, most of you probably already know all this, but you might have friends who are interested and you don't know if they know how to quilt, or if you don't know if there's local places to learn it. We'll do it here online for a little bit. And then you can always ask questions in our Mighty Networks. We have a community. You find the right information. We have a community where we share pictures, encourage each other, inspire each other. It's very similar to a Facebook community, but it's away from Facebook. So not everybody has Facebook or Facebook's just not friendly anymore. So we go to Mighty Networks and it's free to join. All you do is sign into it. I approve you. And then that's a great place where we can ask questions regarding all our coffee chats as we go through. In fact, I will probably post the PDF for this in there for you to follow along. So again, is everybody see how to comment? Linda, you're like the only one that's commenting. So I don't know if people are still not sure how to answer or respond or ask questions. I'm still trying to figure all this out, guys. Again, remember, this is just the beginning. We are starting now, so we're still learning all the things. Today, I only have this camera set up. I decided not to put my phone up. So I'm hoping, one, you can even hear me. I'm assuming you can. Maybe not. I don't know. But there's still people watching, so I'm thinking you guys can hear me. What would be the number one question you would ask regarding quilting? I have a list of hope to make videos of some people that are asking things and asking how to do borders, how to do cornerstone borders, how to do miter borders. I've had people ask me for binding videos, which I do have. I'll post those in the Mighty Network. What was the other one? I had a really strange question the other day, and I wrote it down. I can't remember what it was. But do you have a question about quilting? What would you like to learn that I can do a video on, or do it during our morning chat? The choices under the video has a live chat. Won't see it on full screen. Oh, so you have to. So Linda, you're saying you can't be on full screen. Linda, are you on your phone or are you on your computer? That's the other thing too. But I'm assuming most people are going to be watching this on their phone. So I don't know if it matters if you tilt it. So I know what you mean. Okay. I wish I brought my phone over here because then I could probably do it. I could watch it live and figure it out. So that makes sense. So if you are watching live and you want to comment, turn your phone so it's portrait, so you can see comments under that. But if you turn it sideways where it's landscape, you're not going to see the comments. I'm assuming that's what Linda means. Okay, all right, Linda, that makes sense. I think it's the same, Linda, on the phone. So appreciate that feedback. Like I said, I have to do a video and figure out how to do that to make sure we're all able to communicate, because it's always fun to share with you, but for me, it helps me to get feedback so I can make sure I'm addressing your questions and your. I want to give a shout out. I appreciate you being here, so I want to give a shout out to you. Let's see. So tonight is our night for the Great Quilt Adventure. It's going to be an adventure. That's all I'm going to say. Some things did not come in time, but we're going to make it work. We'll be on at 8 p.m. Eastern time zone in Facebook and on our app, because the app is where it's at. You can download our app for free. But we'll be live tonight, and then we have tomorrow night is Poppy's Quilt and Sew out of Texas, and then Saturday is Wise Monkey Quilting out of Iowa. Diane says I can chat on my phone. I'm not talking since. Oh, Diane, thank you for that feedback. We're not sure. Yesterday we had questions. People didn't know how to chat on the lives on YouTube, so I appreciate your feedback on that. I think the key thing is turning your phone portrait so you can see the comments. I forgot that is something that makes a difference. So thanks, Diane. Don't work too hard. Don't work out. No, 7 p.m. Central. 7 p.m. Central. I am Eastern time zone, Linda. So that I am 8 p.m. tonight Eastern time zone, 7 p.m. Central. Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. Don't know, you got me all questioning it, but no, it's supposed to be Central time zone and 8 p.m. my time. Do I need to check that again? Now you got me all questioning myself, Linda. I will check that and verify that later. So, but what else is going on? So that's going on. Next week, I will be at Quilt Market in Houston, Texas, and we're going to start doing some videos from there. Oh, really? Okay, Long Colonel Scorpio. I don't know your name, so I'm just going to say hi, but you want to learn all the tips? We're working on it. We're working on it. There's so much. And if you have what I would encourage is if you have a struggle with this particular spot of something within quilting, let me know. I know Linda, one of her struggles is binding, so we're going to address that over the next couple of weeks as well. I get squirrely moments too. If you haven't watched me long enough, I go all over the place. That's why I really wanted to do something that kind of keeps me focused and that you can enjoy it and come back and rewatch it. So we'll do tomorrow. I'm going to talk about, we're going to start our Learn to Quilt process here in the coffee chat. I'm not going to change the name of the morning show to Learn to Quilt. I won't call it coffee chat, so you have to find it. But if you are regular and you're watching, you'll know. I'll call it I'll session 1, 2, 3, or whatever. So tomorrow we're going to talk about what supplies you need. So we're going to talk about notions and tools, and the tools that I enjoy, but tools that you might own that work just as well. So that's going to be tomorrow's first session, and that's Friday. And then I will start back up on Tuesday next week for the next session. I'll talk a little bit about fabric choices and colors and how to pick out fabrics on Tuesday. Since I don't know if anybody is having trouble communicating, but just let me know if you need to. You can always email me at info@fiberologylab.com if you have questions about what we're about to do or anything else regarding the business. I'm trying to think what else I was going to say. I'll see. I've got all discombobulated. I haven't had enough coffee. That's the bottom line. Just haven't had enough coffee. So that is my coffee chat for this morning. Just a little short snippet of what we're about to jump into. When I go through these things with Learn to Quilt, it might last a little bit longer just because there's a lot more to share. But I have broken it over 17 different sessions. So hopefully that helps it to be a little shorter versus what I was teaching in class. I hope you guys have a great Thursday. And again, you know how to reach me, info@fiberologylab.com, or we'll see you live tonight in the Great Quilting Adventure. And I hope you have a great one. Remember, we are friends, fibers, and fun.